Between 2008 and 2013, BMW manufactured vehicles equipped with the original N63 engine under a service protocol that required dealerships to replace the primary vehicle battery during every routine oil change. The 4.4-liter, twin-turbocharged direct-injection V8 engine initially debuted in the BMW X6, designed to minimize turbo lag and maximize low-end torque at 1500 RPM. It was the first production engine to utilize a Hot-Vee architecture. This layout placed the turbochargers and catalytic converters inside the central valley between the cylinder banks, rather than on the outside of the engine block. While effective for vehicle packaging, the configuration concentrated extreme heat within the engine valley. This sustained thermal exposure degraded the surrounding components, leading to the premature failure of plastic crankcase vent lines, fuel injectors, and timing chains. It also destroyed the rubber valve stem seals, which allowed engine oil to leak directly into the combustion chamber. This caused significant oil consumption, heavy carbon accumulation on the intake valves, engine stalling, and visible exhaust smoke upon startup. In court filings for the class action lawsuits Bang vs. BMW and Isley vs. BMW, owners documented that affected vehicles regularly consumed 1 quart of engine oil every 750 miles, with some drivers adding 6 to 8 quarts between scheduled services. Filings in Nayako vs. BMW indicate that when owners reported these issues, dealership technicians frequently stated that such oil consumption was normal for high-mileage engines of this type. In June 2013, BMW issued a technical service bulletin instructing service departments to increase the engine's official oil capacity by 1 full US quart during maintenance to prevent engines from running low on oil between intervals. The thermal layout also created auxiliary electrical issues. Because of the extreme heat retention in the engine valley, the electric cooling fans continued running at high speed after the ignition was turned off, creating a heavy draw on the battery. Under BMW's efficient dynamics programming, the alternator was configured to charge the battery primarily when the vehicle was coasting. Because standard driving patterns rarely provided sufficient coasting time, the batteries were frequently undercharged. To address the battery depletion without altering official EPA fuel economy ratings or undergoing a costly recertification process, BMW introduced the N63 Customer Care Package on December 29, 2014. This program mandated that dealerships replace the vehicle battery at every oil change. Concurrently, BMW halved its recommended long-life maintenance intervals, reducing the schedule from 2 years or 15,000 miles down to 12 months or 10,000 miles. For vehicles outside of the warranty period, the expense of these failures fell entirely on the owner. Replacing the valve stem seals requires removing the entire engine and transmission from the chassis, resulting in labor and parts cost between $5,000 and $9,000. A stretched or broken timing chain frequently necessitated a complete engine replacement, carrying expenses exceeding $15,000. Replacement fuel injectors cost over $400 each for an 8-cylinder layout. Furthermore, because direct injection prevents fuel from washing over the intake valves, owners faced routine expenses for walnut blasting every 60,000 miles to mechanically remove baked-on carbon deposits. Legal action followed these widespread mechanical failures. In September 2015, the Bang vs. BMW of North America class action lawsuit was filed, alleging that the proximity of the turbochargers caused excessive heat accumulation. That lawsuit was settled on May 8, 2018, providing repair reimbursements and vouchers. In May 2019, a second class action suit, Isley vs. BMW, alleged that the updated technical update variants of the engine suffered from identical thermal design defects. The resulting 2021 settlement established a sliding scale for engine replacement coverage based on vehicle mileage. Under these terms, owners of vehicles with 70,001 to 80,000 miles were responsible for 27% of the replacement cost, while those with 110,001 to 115,000 miles had to pay 75%. The settlement also required BMW to provide customers with 2 free quarts of oil to keep in their vehicles for mid-interval top-offs. The financial consequences meant that repair costs frequently exceeded the total market value of the used vehicles. Class action member Zeno Montut expressed frustration with the situation, stating that BMW was aware of the problem and that it was unacceptable for expensive vehicles to experience such severe defects. On the automotive teardown channel I Do Cars, mechanic Eric reported that the high frequency of failure modes, combined with high parts and labor expenses, caused many owners to scrap the vehicles rather than pay for repairs. Despite the challenges associated with the early generations of the N63, BMW did not abandon the Hot-Vee architecture. Over the subsequent decade, the company revised the cooling systems, insulation, and component materials across multiple technical updates. The packaging and performance advantages of the Hot-Vee layout ultimately led to its adoption by other manufacturers, including Mercedes-AMG, Audi, Porsche, and McLaren for their high-performance V8 engines. While the layout has become an industry standard, the early implementation left consumers to bear the long-term financial costs of the development cycle.